Y'all ever see the movie Project X? Alright, well, if you haven't, long story short, the movie is basically about three high school seniors who throw a birthday party while their parents leave town, and they invite a ton of people just to make a name for themselves, and things get out of control. Like, really, really out of control. Go watch it if you haven't. It's freaking hilarious. Dope movie. But what is a Project X party? Project X is the largest high school party ever. Not just any party, but one with more than 1,500 people attending, 2 DJs, and over $2,000 in damages. Consists of huge amounts of people, drinking, girls, boobies, music, ninja security guards, and ecstasy. I was still a freshman in high school. It was a Friday afternoon, and I was walking out of the school building after serving detention. My friend, I'll call her Lucy for her privacy, was picking me up like she did every Friday. We drove to the local park and shared a blunt and talked about school and other subjects. As we're finishing up, she mentions that some senior was hosting a party at his house next Friday. She pulled out her phone and showed me the invite. And the invite said, Project X Party. Models, girls, drugs, alcohol, DJs, and special performance by Young Manny and Zanman. For those that aren't from the DMV area, Young Manny and Zanman are both rappers from Maryland, and they were poppin' in the area around that time. Although I am initially reluctant, I eventually agreed to go cause I had only been to 4 parties that whole school year. Yes, you heard me right, 4. The party was open invite. I had nothing better to do as a freshman, so I said, screw it, I'll go. Fast forward to next Friday, Lucy picks me up from my house. We drove like 10 minutes to the party, and after 10 minutes, we pulled up to this rich suburbia area with a bunch of mansions. Ooh, mansion party. Okay. We pulled up and there were lines of cars and people. Lucy literally parked her car behind one of the other cars. We made our way through the sea of crowds and lines of people on the street and eventually made our way into the house. Some people were passed out on the front lawn. Bro, if this is what the outside looks like, I can only imagine what awaits us on the inside. As we walk further into the house, I see every single person drinking like it was their last day on earth. Lucy sat on the couch next to some friends she knew and started drinking some gin. I don't drink, so I was chilling on that BS. I was the only freshman there. However, one of Lucy's friends was smoking weed, so you know my rules, only weed and psychedelics, only the natural stuff. So he offered me a hit or two and I couldn't resist. The next few hours were uneventful, so I'll skip to where it gets interesting. I don't know what was in that blunt, but as I tried to stand up, I realized that walking while high was harder than I thought. I started walking around the party and bro, I saw some IG models, some TikTok thoughts, people turning up, people snorting coke, smoking weed, popping X, drinking alk. Some people were just being plain autistic and jumping off the top of the staircase and breaking their back. Walked in on 3 people having a 3-way. Oops, pardon me. Young Manny and Zanman pulled up and performed. I did not get to meet them or take a picture with them, but I saw them. People were getting head out in the open. There were some hookers and prostitutes at that party. I saw a dude getting jumped at one point. I think he had beef with a few people at that party. Someone let a deer in the house. Some people were butt-ass naked. Chicks making out with chicks. Piñata filled with pills. Saw a dude smashing a rabbit. I remember a fight broke out at one point too. Someone drove a car into a tree. Midget hookers. Some people were setting off fireworks in the backyard. Chicks were getting naked and jumping in the pool. Some people were roof jumping. A dog was licking peanut butter off this dude's dick. And I was just dazed and confused walking through all of this. I remember some girl was getting trained out in the open. Some retard broke a window. Some dudes were starting a fire. Yes, I'm not joking. Some dudes were starting a fire in the basement. I remember some girl OD'd on Xanax and all of her friends were panicking trying to help her. Moments later, I found Lucy on the couch, drunk as hell. Lucy was more messed up than me, and I had to help her up the stairs to one of the bedrooms. She asked me to close the door so we could have sex. I don't get with girls that are drunk, but I was high as hell too, and low-key, I was low-key kind of crushing on Lucy for a while. Lucy was 17 and I was 14 at the time. A freshman doing it with a senior? Totally not weird at all. To this day, I still don't know if it was the alcohol talking or not, so yeah, I did that. I clapped a girl that was 3 years older than me. After we both finish, I hear the word that no teenager at a party would ever want to hear. Police! And sure enough, there were police sirens outside. In a moment of panic, I opened the window and climbed out, falling all the way to the ground, butt-ass naked. I proceeded to run for what felt like 100 miles, but was more like 3 blocks before passing out. I woke up in the morning, still naked around a few bushes and a few trees. Of course, I could not just walk home looking like this, so I had to call my mom to come get me, and believe me, it was hard to find an excuse for that. On Tuesday, I go to school, did not go on Monday for obvious reasons, and I meet up with Lucy, who explained to me that the senior's parents were arrested because of the whole ordeal. We also talked about what happened between me and her, and she told me she was drunk and regretted it. Low-key, it was kind of awkward between her and me, since she was about to be 18 and I was about to turn 15. We agreed to never speak on it again, but we remained friends. At least for the remainder of the school year, because once she graduated in 2019, we never spoke again. We just faded and lost contact with each other completely. Lucy, if you're watching this, I miss you. But yeah, the number one rule about parties, never ever host. I'm out. Got it, one time, jump on your